Have you always wanted to help people start their own business?
No, not really. I kind of fell into it, I suppose, really, a few years ago. I kind of always knew that I wanted to sort of do something to help people and had a background in business and sort of working with businesses. And the two just seemed to sort of naturally sit together.
Why do you say that?
I think most people, when they start a business, it's really funny because most people, when they start a business, they don't do it to grow a business. They do it because they want more time at home with the kids, or because they want, more holidays, or they want to earn a bit more money, or they want a better work-life balance, whatever it is. And so that people element is something that's quite often missing from the sort of business type stuff. I think most people, when they kind of come up with that idea, or they decided they want to kind of do something on their own, it's often the first time they've kind of done anything. It's the first time they've sort of decided to kind of start a business or go out on their own or whatever else. So it's a mixture of sort of excitement, fear, trepidation, not really knowing what they're doing, and so generally they're pretty welcoming to any sort of support, any kind of help they can get.
Yeah. Which bit do you like the most?
That's a really interesting question. For me, it's the bit I probably enjoy the most is seeing the journey. So it's kind of seeing them as sort of when they first kind of come in, sort of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed with a bit of an idea of what they want to achieve, and then it's seeing the journey they go on over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, however long, both as people and as a business.
And where do you get your energy from to do this?
Coffee.
We can hear coffee being made there in the kitchen near to us.
Yeah, no, I think it's. I mean, I guess you get the energy from every day. I get to sit in front of hugely talented people who often don't actually understand how talented they are and how good they are at what they do. So I get that kind of sense of excitement and that sense of energy from actually just seeing who they are, what they're capable of, and then just helping them kind of move forward a little bit.
Some people are quite wary about this whole process of starting up a business. How do you get them to encapsulate their own passion, their own energy, and maybe give them some of your own energy? Yeah,
I think it comes with that. To be honest, it comes down to why they're doing it. So most businesses start for a reason that isn't about. Generally, it's not about growing the economy. It's about I've got a passion and I want to make a living from it, or it's about I've got something personal I kind of want to achieve. So it's really down to kind of understanding what those motivations are, and then using them to kind of drive the business forward.
If you were going to start your own business, what would you do?
Well, actually, I do run a couple of businesses on the sort of side of what I do for a living, and I kind of started one when I was younger as well. But I've got a real interest in sort of culture and leadership, particularly in organisations. So I do quite a lot of work around helping businesses create really positive cultures and helping people become better leaders.
And why did you want to start that business?
To be honest, there's lots of people out there that have started businesses, have grown businesses very successfully, but they've never led teams before. They've never kind of been in a situation where they've got to kind of create a culture or anything like that at all, and it becomes almost a millstone around their neck sometimes. And I've kind of just got that sort of. I've seen it from both sides. I've seen it from working in really great positive cultures, and I've seen it working, with organisations where the culture is really, really poor, it's really negative and really, really destructive. Simple fact is those organisations with really positive cultures tend to thrive, and I just want to help people achieve that.
Now, one of the people you've worked with in accomplishing some of this is Enterprise Ian. What impact has his message had on people, and when you've seen him operating in front of the audiences for the people you've worked with, what sort of impact have you noticed?
Working with Ian's brilliant. He's very much a performer. He's very energetic. He's very positive, and he completely blows the myths away around what it takes to start a business and run a business. So most people think you've got to be wearing a grey suit, be a little bit grey yourself, and that's kind of what business is. Ian's the polar opposite of that. So he just kind of he takes people out of that mindset and puts them into the mindset that anyone can do it. He's also very challenging. So he asks all of the kind of difficult questions that people might not think about themselves.
Does he fall into the bracket disruptive?
I think he falls into the bracket crazy. Yeah, absolutely. So we've used him, some of the work we've done in the past with Ian, we've used him to do exactly that. So sort of, to have a room full of 30 odd kind of new businesses and used Ian to really actually kind of disrupt what they're thinking and take them right back to scratch, really, in essence, of what their business idea is and kind of why they want to do it. So yeah, I think you could definitely use that word to sum him up.